two, one. Hey, everybody. I'm
Hey there,
Tyler,
I'm Sam.
and we're two buds, and we
We're
like
gonna review,
movies.
yeah, and we're gonna review a movie today.
We're going to review a movie today.
And the movie today we're
It
reviewing is called His House on Netflix. It is a horror movie, and it is pretty thrilling. Um,
is pretty thrilling.
so I mean, if you've watched the other ones, we've said this before. We're figuring it out, and we're gonna change the format from here on out. It's not just gonna be us listing stuff chronologically. We're just gonna go right into it and start spoiling.
So,
Um,
spoilers for this movie if you haven't seen it.
Also, we found that listing all of the actors and everybody that was involved in the film is just kind of boring to watch. So if you want to Google the movie and go on IMDb, you can do that yourself. Like we're just gonna talk about it and maybe actors that we recognize, but we're not gonna be like Michael Scott played Michael Scott, or whatever
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, from here on out, we're just going to talk about the movie. So,
Exactly.
we assume you have watched the movie or you're okay with spoilers because we're just going to talk about the movie that we
Yep,
watched and
it's spoiler.
converse about it.
Yeah, and I think in the description we're gonna put spoilers, just
At least
right
up
off the
front.
bat.
Yeah. Up front.
Yeah, and we could even put timestamps of when the spoiler happens. But why would you want to watch us be like, this is the movie we're gonna review, and then that's it. So go watch the movie and then come back here.
Yes. All right,
Yeah.
guys. His house. Sam, what is the direct? Who is the director of this film?
The director of this film is Remi Weekes,
Remi
uh,
Weekes.
or Weekes. It's Weekes key Weekes,
I
and
think it.
he's also
I think it's Weeks.
yeah, I think it's Weeks too. He's also the writer, uh, same guy. And a note: the only like the actor that I recognized or actress that I recognized was the woman or the wife, and she was also in Lovecraft Country. That's where I recognized her from. She did a kick-ass job.
Show on HBO.
Yep, it's really good. You should watch that too. But we're not
First,
reviewing a show; we're reviewing a
yeah.
movie.
For a sec, I thought the guy was the guy from Lovecraft Country, and then I was like, never mind.
Nope.
All right. So, what'd you
He's been in
think?
other stuff though. But anyway, we're not. Yeah, I
What'd you
thought it
think?
was. I liked it, man.
Dude, I
It
thought
was.
it was great.
Yeah, it was a good ride, and like, um, it wasn't like there were a couple jump scares, but that wasn't really like the scariest part of it. Like I liked the slow burn kind of.
The slow burn's always really scary.
Yeah.
It always
And
makes it scarier.
I was talking to my stepmom about it yesterday, but like one of my favorite parts is that it combined like real world horror, such as like racism and xenophobia, with like supernatural horror, and like melded it into like a very streamlined experience.
Right.
Um, yeah, it was really good. So I guess like we could talk about like the basic premise of the movie, and then we're just gonna start spoiling. And like the basic premise is that there are two asylum seekers, a husband and a wife from Uganda,
Thought it was
and
Sudan. Is that in Uganda?
I think it's Uganda. Oh no, no, Sudan. You're right.
Yeah.
Sorry. Um, yeah, from South Sudan, and then they're seeking asylum in England. Um, and so they get released from like the the government housing, and then they go to like another house where it's also controlled by the government, but it's in a very rundown part of London,
Yep.
and all right. Spoilers. We're spoiling.
Spoilers.
It's slowly revealed that their daughter that they lost on their trip to England, who is presumably dead, was not actually their daughter, and that they,
Dude,
um,
can I say something?
yeah, go go.
I love that because like the
Mm-hmm.
whole time, well, I mean obviously I think like the message of the film was just like being a refugee sucks and like it's I don't know, like it's hard and like
Well, that's definitely a main point. Yeah.
yeah, but like the whole time you're thinking you're like feeling all bad for them like oh my god like their daughter died like and now they're in this like haunted house in England so
Mm-hmm.
they could like have a better life but then they stole the daughter so that they could go to England.
Yeah. So they were both trying to get onto this bus, and the people that were letting people on the bus were like children only, And so they took this young girl and said, "This is our daughter. Let us on." And then they got on. Um, and so that's why this I forget what they called like the witch, but it was a specific kind of witch who like comes after you if you've taken something, and it like comes with you wherever you are. So the house wasn't haunted; they're haunted. You know?
They're haunted. Yep.
Yeah, which I thought was cool too, because I was like, oh, it's just this creepy house, and then it was like, nope, it's them. Like it's because to get this to get a new life, they stole um a daughter from a mother, you know, and so that's
Yeah.
why this witch is after them.
Yeah. I mean, like the whole thing's a metaphor for like your past and like it's not, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
for your
no, for
past and
real.
like what they did.
I liked how they were like, no matter what, you always bring your ghost with you, and like
Yep.
that final shot of like everybody in the house, all the ghosts just standing there all around. They're just crowded into that
All the
house.
people from like where they like fled from
Yeah,
Japan.
it was really powerful and also really really sad, you know.
Yep.
And it's also clear that both of them are suffering from PTSD. You know, I mean, like it's pretty clear. Like
Yeah.
especially like when there's that bang outside, um, and he like covered his ears and like he started hearing explosions and screams and stuff.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I thought it was really good.
Thought it was freaking dope, and I just like that they could use such a like small space of like the house and like the wall and just
Oh
like
yeah.
make it hella scary.
Mm-hmm.
Also, um, whatever like the witch or like the demon or what I'm calling it a demon, but like I love that they showed it. Like I kind of chuckled when like the demon came out, like at
Oh,
the
like at
end.
the very end, like
Yeah,
when he cut his arm.
yeah, when he slit his throat, he like they like kill the demon. But I thought that was kind of goofy, but I like that they put that in there.
I mean, like the demon kind of remind me of some of the whole like the monster prosthetics from Pan's Labyrinth, you know, especially like his 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 body type or his or her
Yeah,
body type.
yeah.
Um,
They called it like an ether witch or something like
oh,
that.
here it is. I found it. So it's called a night witch or an apeth.
Oh, Apeth.
Yeah, apeth or night. Yeah, night witch is the English translation. And
Night
so
witch.
just moving on, like let's just instead of saying the husband and the wife, the
Oh yeah, what's their
the
names?
the wife names is Rial, and then the wife is named Rial, and the husband is named
Ball.
Ball. And then the daughter is named Niagak, but she's not actually their daughter. And
Nigyak.
yeah, okay, so um, Rial, right when the Night Witch shows up and like in the house and is like terrorizing them, Rial's like, "Yo, it's the Night Witch. We need to, or the Apeth. We need to acknowledge this,
Yep.
and and deal with it." And Ball is like the husband. Ball is like, "Nope, it's not. Nope, I'm just nope. It's not real."
And
For
he's
a
like trying to
while.
yeah, and he's trying to find it and shit
Mm-hmm.
and
One of
kill
the
it.
best one of the best scenes is when like the what's it called? The wallpaper like peels down. That was terrifying.
Dude,
Like
that
when
was
he's
hella creepy.
I love yeah, that was really really well done. And like the wallpaper peels down and like there's this giant black hole in the wall
Yeah.
behind the
It's
wallpaper,
freaking scary.
and then he reaches in and like it's for the light switch, but the light is on and the light like okay, so like the lamp above is on, and then he reaches in and he pulls on this wire, and then like the wire isn't connected, so how is the light on, right? um it's such a good scene. I'm definitely like not doing it justice. And then he starts pulling, and then like as he pulls this wire it becomes this rope, and then as he keeps pulling it's like rope with seaweed and more seaweed, and it's just like you can like the sound of it was really well done too, like how it was like smacking against the floor as well, like the seaweed and all that. And then eventually, like the doll that the daughter Niagak had comes out like on the end of the
Hella
rope,
creep.
and then
Hella creep.
he like freaks out, and then like um her hand, like the ghost of her hand, like grabs the doll and pulls it back, and he's like,
Yep.
no. And then like the wallpaper just is suddenly back there, like there's no hole anymore. The wallpaper hasn't peeled off. And then that's when he starts like tearing apart the house looking for like the ghosts inside the walls. But little does he know the ghosts are actually with him always. They're just kind of playing with him. They're toying with him a little bit.
Yeah. So how do wait, so then how do you feel about the ending? So like do you, like so he technically kills the Apeth or whatever. And then they stay. Well, like cuz she wanted to leave but they ended up staying.
Dude, he didn't kill the Apeth.
I thought he just slit its throat.
Rial did. It wasn't him. It was
Oh.
Rial.
Oh yeah.
He was
Oh.
on the floor about to get like taken by it. He like remember like
Oh
the
yeah. Oh yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
the Apeth like reached inside the cut on his arm
Oh
and was
yeah,
like
that was so
that was
gnar.
I didn't like that. That was I mean it was super well done and it was terrifying, but like you saw like the night witch's hand like inside his skin and like wrapping around like the bone of his arm like inside. It was really scary.
Hella
and then
creepy. Yeah.
and then Rial, the wife, comes up behind the Apeth and slits his throat. And she had to make a decision. She was deciding between saving. I mean, I don't even know if the Apeth would have really provided, like, would have really brought the daughter back to life. He was like, "Yo, if
Oh yeah,
if you
yeah.
let me take your husband, your daughter can come back to life." And she's like, "Well, maybe," but then and then she chooses, "Nah, I'm gonna save my husband." I think it
Yeah.
was the right call.
Yeah. But then I think yeah, they still are going to have to live with that pain and like that they left all these people and like
Yeah, I mean, like,
we're like pretty much directly responsible for a girl's death who wasn't even supposed to be with them.
yeah, and also like like they're responsible for the distress of the mother, and the mother wasn't able.
Right.
Like the mother probably died because as a result of their actions. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
And
like it's survivor's guilt. Like they feel really bad, but also like they made decisions to stay alive. So I can't like it's hard to fault them for it. You know.
yeah. Well, and it's not even like they may not even end up having a better life in London. Like they don't, that's what I thought was interesting too.
Yep. Yeah, that's
They're
true.
kind of there and sad now and they're just going to have to
Yeah, I just have to live with it.
yeah.
I mean, I was a little bit it was a little bit hopeful at the end. I mean, it was like horrendously sad, like with all of those people piled in the room, them thinking about all the people they left behind
Yeah.
and all the people that they saw die, all their loved ones.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. But it seemed like like at least at the end, it seemed like the Apath or the Night Witch had been taken care of, so they weren't going to be terrorized like by a demon anymore. So I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's good. I forgot what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that um okay, I forgot.
You forgot?
It'll come back to me. It'll come back to me. Oh, I
Okay.
was just like this movie is not like that confused. Like it's pretty. It's like if you pay attention, it's pretty straightforward. And the whole thing makes sense. It's not like
Mm-hmm.
anything's confusing.
Yeah, it's very, very
It's
straightforward.
very straightforward, but like the message is good. I've never seen a horror movie like it.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't like terrifying, but it was like it was had good scares and good. It was shot really well and like filmed in a way
Yeah, I
that
I
like
mean
keeps
I don't
you.
think for the two of us it was terrifying, but for like I love horror movies. I watch them alone at like 2 in the morning. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm cool with it. So like for
Yeah.
me, my threshold is pretty high, and it definitely got me a couple times. Like it wasn't terrifying, but like there were a couple scenes where I was like, holy shit! Like
Yeah, you're
imagine
like
like
that's creepy. I mean, I watched it in the dark alone, so
hmm
like I was just like, all right. Especially
yeah.
when like yeah, I don't know, it was creepy. And then
Kids definitely should not watch this. I'll say that.
well, no, what's it rated? It's I mean, it doesn't. It's like not rated. I think it's TV 14 on.
Yeah.
It'd probably be honestly, it'd probably be PG 13 if it was in theaters. Like it's not that. It's not very violent. It's just creepy.
Yeah, no, it isn't very violent, but it's all yeah. It's very creepy and also
It's mature
it's
content.
it's exactly I was about to say that. Like it's
Yeah.
it's it's hard for a kid to grasp like the situation that they were in and the situation they got out of and how they got out of it.
Yeah.
Um And also like those dream sequences might be a little bit hard to understand.
Right.
Like I would suggest it for people over 18 or like 16 and up. I don't know. Like
Yeah, I
not
mean, I think,
kids.
I mean, I think a 15, I think like my brother could watch it, like he'd be fine. My, like it's not, he just might not think it's very good. I don't know.
Yeah, I would say
Cuz
it's between PG-13 and R. That's
yeah,
where I put it.
like the point of the movie is not really to be, I mean, it's obviously to be like creepy and scary, but like that's not like the actual point of the movie. The point of the movie is to be like, look at these refugees, like look at the shit they have to go through to like, you know,
Get there, and then once they're
and
there,
look
they
at their
have to.
mental stressors that they have after the fact from all the
Yeah,
shit.
like what they have to go through to get to where they're seeking asylum, and then once they're in asylum, like the bullshit they have to deal with from the people that live there, like all the
And in their
xenophobia.
from their own minds, aka
Oh, for sure. Yeah, like
the apeth or whatever.
well, yeah, like the things that they carry with them. Like it was a metaphor for like survivor's guilt at its simplistic form. Like the PTSD that they have, like all the horrible things that they went through to get there, and then once they're there, people are like don't want them there, and they like. I thought another really good part is when like the case agent was like, "Remember, be one of the good ones." Like that was like so backhanded. That was such a backhanded thing to say.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, like as if most refugees aren't good or don't deserve asylum.
yeah,
Yeah, I thought that that was, and it's clear that he was trying to help, but it was also it was indicative of like the larger mentality of Britain and other countries that are like even America that are like accepting refugees, but like with a lot of caveats, you know.
right, right. And it
Um,
takes place in modern times. I'm pretty sure it's
oh,
like,
for
yeah,
sure.
it's like 2021, 2020, whatever. It's
Yeah,
like right.
it came out January 2020, so I think it was
Oh, okay.
supposed to be just 2020, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And like any, not like any good horror movie, but like the whole color palette of the movie was a lot of like grayish
Dark blues.
and like yeah, but also like the, because they did have like the sunny, sandy like Sudan as well, but it was all still kind of bleak, the whole thing, you know, which is how most horror movies are these days, anyways.
I thought you were gonna say I liked how like the obviously like the war in Sudan is pretty traumatic, but like the most traumatic thing for Ball and Rial is that is when they were like crossing the ocean on the boat and they lost
Mm-hmm.
the daughter
The
or
fake
their
daughter, yeah,
quote daughter.
yeah,
And so like in the house it was very cool. It like cool colors, not cool like cool. It was like very blue, a lot of blues,
oh yeah,
a lot of dark blues like the ocean, you know?
yeah,
And like it made me think that they're still trapped in that moment when they lost their fake daughter.
yeah,
And then
and
like
part of them is,
of course they are. Yeah, and like
yeah,
the guilt that's still building from that moment, you know? Because like at least when she was alive they could rationalize, "Hey, we saved her by
right,
taking her from her mom." But then once she's gone, it's like, "Hey, we took her from her mom. Her mom's dead, and now she's dead too." There's no way to rationalize that that was a good decision for her, for the
right.
daughter.
For the daughter, I mean, for them, it got them on that bus, but
Yeah, I
lots
liked it
of
a lot,
moral dilemma.
and a lot of nuance. Like we're not fully explaining like how poignant it is in terms of modern times. You know, like it's just it's really good. And I like neither of I'm not very privy to Brexit. I know that they're doing a lot of xenophobic shit over there, just like America is, but I'm not privy to like the details of it. But I don't know. I'm just saying like it was very poignant and it's worth a watch even if you don't like horror because it's a big
It's like a
metaphor
drama. It's a drama horror. It's good.
for sure. Yeah, and it's a metaphor for refugees seeking asylum.
Yeah, it's freaking good.
Yeah,
I have one
yeah.
more question for you before because we're pretty much done. We don't really have
I think
much
we
else
are.
to
Yeah,
say. Um, why is it called his house? Why do you think? Like, what? I didn't. I was thinking
that's a
about
good.
this
I don't know, man. I mean,
because it's not like the apeth. It's not like his house. I don't know exactly
well, I mean, like
who the he is in the title.
the only thing that comes to mind is that Ball kept saying like multiple, like at least 5 times, "This is our home." like throughout the movie. This is our home, you know. And
Yeah, but it maybe the he is, I don't know.
maybe the he is ball, but that wouldn't make sense because it would be our house because it's the two of them.
Right.
I think it is supposed to be like the Apeth's house, his house, the Night Witch's house.
I guess. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah, but overall I thought it was freaking good.
I
What do
do
you rate
too.
it? How
Wait, I have one question for you
what?
before we end it. What did you think of smoking cat lady neighbor? I thought her whole thing was unnecessary. It was just
I thought it was hella creepy when like she's just in the window staring at him petting her cat.
that was creepy, but then all the other shit was unnecessary. Like
Yeah.
when he like ran out when something scary was happening and she was smoking a cigarette out of the window. She just kind of looked at him and he smiled. It was just like, okay. Like
I
she's
think she was
creepy.
just meant to be like this white lady who's like, fuck you guys. Like, I don't
Yeah, I guess
know.
so. But they kind of nailed that like not with the I don't know. Maybe they were just trying to do more examples of British people being xenophobic against refugees, but like I thought that they nailed it when Rial was like walking around trying to find the medical clinic, and then also
Oh,
when
that was awesome. That was, yeah,
yeah,
that made you just uneasy,
oh yeah,
you
and like
know?
that was the real life horror, like when
Right.
the kid was just kicking the ball everywhere she went, and she
Yep.
was like, "What is going on? Like I'm
Right.
lost." Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought that was good too. All right, yeah, let's rate it, dude. I feel like because we're not doing the chronological thing anymore, which I think is better. It's a better
Dude, this has
format.
been so much better in my opinion.
Yeah, it's gonna be quicker, which I think is also good. Like, why waste time?
Why? And also, yeah, for real.
All right, you rate it first
How
because
many
I
buds?
picked the movie.
I give it a 4 out of 5 for what it is.
Yeah,
Four
yep,
out of five buds.
dude. I think I might give it 4.5. I think I'm
Okay.
going there. It's
Yeah, I'm
happening
giving it a 4 out of 5.
because I think I'll give it a 4 out of 5 if I loved it, but I don't know if I'd watch it again. I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 5 because I loved it, and I also think I'm probably gonna watch it again at
Yeah, I
some
might
point.
watch it again.
I'll
I
definitely
just,
show it to people.
yeah, I think it's really good, and it's like it's a movie that's just
All
like
around.
you
What
could like show it in a class and be like, learn from this,
for
analyze it.
real?
Yeah,
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's all around a good movie. Like
yeah,
acting, production, plot, story, pacing.
yeah. The
Uh,
pacing's perfect because like they didn't like do too many like. I thought it was perfect. And that scene where he's in the office, like we have rats, like talking to the guy. I thought that was
dude,
great.
yeah, that
Yeah,
part was great too. Like, what do you say?
yeah,
And not I think also like not to hammer it home, but that was also another metaphor for like them trying to get support from their so-called caseworkers, or whatever the title of people are that like in the government that handle refugees. Like it's hard to get support, I think, is what they're trying to say, and it's
right,
impossible for them to explain their situation.
right.
And
Because they don't get
um,
it. Yeah,
of course they don't, and like they're
yeah,
just like you need to assimilate.
right,
That's all they're saying. Like they don't care
right,
about your well-being. They don't care about like how you're feeling. They're like, hey, you just need to fit in.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
4.5 out of 5. That's
four
me.
out of five buds for me.
Um, I guess we're not gonna pick. So
No, yeah, we're
in
not.
previous episodes, like we've switched off picking movies, and we're not doing that anymore. We're both gonna decide together, and we're gonna choose movies that have just come out because I think that's a good way to do it.
Yep. This has been Two Buds Movie Reviews, and we just reviewed His House
Yep.
on Netflix,
Thanks
directed
for
by Remi Weekes. Thank you for listening.
yeah, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week for some kind of movie. I think,
Some other movie.
dude, I think it's gonna be SpongeBob.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Deuces. Peace. Two Buds
Stop,
Movie Reviews.
stop recording.
Later.